Oh baby, Gamestop got that glow, turning heads with profits steady slow. From losses to wins, Q1 flip the show. Net income rising like a rocket go. Ryan Cohen, yeah, he's the king on the throne. Chewy founder turned this beast to gold. Visionary moves, got big money moan. Had the CEO dream, bold and uncontrolled. The partnership with ESA so fine. Trading collectibles in a million line. Digital power packs open online. Pokemon, 2 sports, fortune, shine. GameStop, so sexy, can't look away. Stocks on fire, night and day. Diamond hands holding, never gonna sway. GameStop, baby, you're my bae. Shareholders loyal, we never let go. Through the dips and highs, right in the flow. Meme stock magic, feel the afterglow. GameStop forever, watch the empire grow. GameStop, so sexy, can't look away. Stocks on fire, night and day. Diamond hands holding, never gonna sway. GameStop, baby, you're my bae. Won't stop, just getting started. Power to the players, rising to the top. Rising from the ashes, we ignite. Our voices echo through the night. Unstoppable force, we're breaking through. United we stand, our dreams come true. We are the fire, we are the door. Breaking the chains, changing the norm. Nothing can stop us, we're taking flight. Our power shines, burning so bright. In the face of doubt, we'll never bend. Our strength unbroken, we'll transcend. With every step, we're growing strong. Together we'll prove the doubters wrong. From whispers to roars, our anthem grows. Defy that will be told of how the small, when boundless one can shake the towers of Babylon. We are the fire, we are the storm, breaking the chains, changing the norm. Nothing can stop us, we're taking flight, our power shines, burning so
Guys, I am back. I should have shut the door real quick. 1 second. All right. Haven't been on quite a bit of time. Thank you so much. Hi, Manuel. What's up? I hope you're doing well. So far, so good. Anyway, so having fun with the songs. I know, like I've been kind of creating one song a day, so that's probably like one video. Yeah, haven't been on quite a bit rusty, but today I was like looking at stuff, Gamestop, and price action still kind of like muted, but everything is muted, right? Like you see with crypto right now, people are freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, the door. But yeah, so people are freaking out. Obviously, this is like, crypto's over and all that stuff. I don't think so, in my strongest opinion. I feel like it's just going to flip this as a support. Again, just my opinion. Is there any data backing this? Again, because of the data is coming out, inflation or whatever, they're probably just trying to flush out all the leverages that is still in the system. Like, unfortunately, we have to still deal with the leveraging people who are trading based on like 10x and one of those accounts. So if the liquidation level, like let's say you are bet heavily that it will never go below a certain level, market maker is going to try to get to that liquidation point to where most of the people would be liquidated. So even though you have a long position or whatever, you might get stop loss hunting too. So that's kind of like cascading through and through. And I think with the crypto market, it's just easier to do that. Apparently, Binance has been kind of dumping a whole bunch of ETH and Bitcoin, obviously, and of course other crypto as well. So it's just a natural ebbs and flow of the market when you think about it. But this is the buying opportunity for sure, right? Now we know that Jimmy bought Bitcoin around here when they announced it. So somewhere like 93 or something, right? May, from 93 to up here. So yeah, the yellow. So between these, right? So we're right about the average. Hopefully Jimmy's gonna be buying more Bitcoin. Brian Cohen's thinking about buying more. If so, this is going to be the best time. Of course, you could still wait, but why would you, right? To me, I mean, it could come to this particular area here because, again, the most interaction, right? The wigs and all that stuff could still be valid, but the body of the candle over here. So assuming that that is the all-time high right there, where the most volume is going to be. And I really think it's not going to come down to 100,000, below 100,000. Psychological level for sure. But yeah, when you think it's not going to go down there, it might be going down there. So just be aware of that. But again, hey, buying opportunity, right? Now, when people are saying it's crashing and it's never going to come back, typically this is when the reversal is happening because people are just way too fearful. The bull market never, happens when people are fearful. And again, that's why when there's exuberance on the other side too, that it will never come back down no matter what's happening. That's also untrue. Yes, it's going to go up eventually, but it's going to come down short term, right? But even if it's going to come down to this level right here, which is the all-time high, local all-time high, since it's already breaking this level here, it's only 15%, you guys. Okay, so a drawdown like this is normal in the bull market, and especially in this type of asset class. Very new, very still new, right? To most people who have no idea what Bitcoin is, or they've heard about it on the news and they're just starting to buy more. Right now, I'll pay attention to buy more because of the, everybody is talking about it. Even people who are in my work, I do talk to them about it a lot, but now they've been paying attention. So a couple of them, when I told them, hey, if you want to get in on this, the best way to do it is to do DCA and don't go crazy because you're just establishing and you're buying somewhat on the all-time high. And so yeah, they got in, and I'm so glad that I'm able to kind of educate them in that because again, long term, okay, for long term, like you have to buy things and then hoping that next 10 years is gonna do a lot better than today. Right? If you ask Grok or ask ChatGPT, if you were to put $10 a day for the last 10 years, how many Bitcoins would you have right now? How much money would you have right now? You would have close to $2 million. That's crazy. But yeah, so just do your own research. Like, don't worry about it. But again, you have to do it every single day for the next 10 years. So I'm not guaranteed that you're gonna, make $2 million because you don't know what the price action is gonna be. But even if you make $500,000, right, in 10 years, by putting away $10 a day for 10 years, you'll be better off than today. So that's my point. Hopefully, people realize the power of investing. This is how investing is all about, right? You just buy hoping that it's going to go up eventually. As a trader, though, this type of volatility, unless you know how to read the chart and all that stuff, it's to me, it's pretty complicated. But hey, if you want to trade this thing, go ahead, do your thing, right? I wouldn't want to do short, long, and all that stuff. Yes, I know how to do it, but it would just be guessing. Like just another layer of that too is the fact that every single trade is in public as well. It's on display, so it's very easy for the people who knows how to trigger a certain event, cascading down, to either push the price up to liquidate shorts and then push the price down to liquidate long. So they do that to try to balance the market, right? or to make money, right? As much money as possible in a short period amount of time. And the most patient people will win out the most. The stock market is the function, or it's a tool to transfer wealth to the most to the most patient from the least patient of them. So pick your battle. Okay, do you want to just be stressful and always on edge all the time? I'm guilty of that too, you guys. Like, I'm not, immune to that, but again, I'm doing less and less. And of course, I have my strategy going on too. So right now, my crypto holding is going on the red spot at the moment, but I've been accumulating at the bottom. So I'm still, I'm red on the day, but of course, I'm still up on the the whole 3 months that I've been accumulating. So but yes, still holding my crypto at the moment. I don't think it's over. Alt season hasn't even, come anywhere close. It might be a bit extended than I thought it would be. But, the best is yet to come. I understand that there's a lot of fear right now. So there might be a lot of selling pressure coming in just because of that fear. When people are fearful, what do? Do you run away and sell? No, you look to the asset class that you believe in, right? That you have some fundamental along the way, and you've been studying, about this asset class more than anyone. Hopefully, whatever you got into. So don't freak out. Just chill. Now, of course, like, the best thing to do is to have some dry powder when this is happening. And what company has the biggest pile of, cash that, the rest of the world hasn't been even. Maybe they do pay attention, but they probably don't want you to, right? The people that in the know, I think, they know what GameStop is. Now, as the price is kind of like muted a little bit here, of course they will try their best, to scare as many people as possible before they send it up. And I don't know, again, like, I wouldn't, try to sell now and hopefully to get it low later. Why would you do that? Because again, it might not happen, right? And so if you do, you're gonna miss out on the exposure that you might have. Yeah, I mean, stay put, in my opinion, anyway. If it breaks, it's gonna break the trend, right? So however low it's gonna go, that's up to the market, the fear fueled by the market, right? Hello. So I'm still looking at $15 an hour, $15 a share. Will it go down there? I don't know, but would anyone be crying if it goes down to $15? I don't think so. I think that people would buy more. I would buy more. Like, why wouldn't I? Anyway, so this gap is still not filled yet. So eventually, it's gonna be filled soon. Is there any one other gap that is need to fill down here? I have no idea. There might be over here, but yeah, that's too low of a gap. I don't think they're gonna even come close. But if they wick down for a day or two just to scare people, it might happen. Just again, but good luck. Try to buy it at the bottom. It's gonna be so quickly bought up by whoever. Now, earnings, though, comes earnings time, obviously the September 9th is what we know for sure now. And the estimate, obviously, seemingly, hold on, let me see. Yep, they went up a little bit, 19 cents. feel like we're gonna beat that. There's no reason why we wouldn't be able to beat that. This one was 1 cent. So from for a company that doesn't make money, right? So why are they increasing their estimate even though the companies apparently doesn't make any money? Why don't you just guess that it's just going to stay at 1 cent per share? You see what I mean? So why are you increasing your estimate 19%, 19 times? Of course, GME makes money, right? They know that, and I'm sure we're hoping that we are going to beat this earnings. I'm hoping that we're gonna do the revenue right now. Of course, that would be the biggest catalyst if we are able to beat that estimate there. I don't see GameStop going over 30 anytime soon because of the convertible. Okay, but I am surprised. Okay. Well, again, I think the convertible notes, right? It's overblown. Honestly, the convertible notes holder, they have motives. I know that, right? The problem is we don't know who. It could be a long hedge fund or short hedge fund. Doesn't matter. They got the share, correct? And so not only that, they got the share without even any interest on top of their money. And so, you know, you could bet that, okay, if they have the ability to smack the price down below 30 because of the convertible notes, you have a point there if they are a short hedge fund, right? But we don't know that. Like I said, it could be a long hedge fund that really believe in the company and understand that it's going to take quite some time. You know, that perhaps they're trying to burn all the shorts too, right? So, and they know that, hey, these individuals that are shorting or these entities might have more ammunition, so why not? Why not? But again, this is me speculating. I don't know who bought the convertible notes. I wish I know. But I don't think Ryan Cohen would sell it to someone who would dump the share. I trust Ryan Cohen to sell it to someone who may believe in the long term and, of course, you know, long term mission of the company and direction in which he's trying to steer the company to. So, and remember, this is his money too, right? He has the most shares, the most, the largest holding of GameStop per person. And so I don't think he's going to shoot his own foot by selling it to someone who just, going to dump the share. But even if they do, right, they are going to keep GameStop at a very affordable price for people to even accumulating more. So either way, it's still an opportunity, to get in on this company. And I truly feel, I'm going to 20. Okay, sure. I truly feel that like this price range, I don't think it's gonna be bouncing just this range forever until the end of time. You guys, like, it's impossible, right? But if they are able to do that, then of course, more and more people would be able to accumulate even more. So, will they be keeping this like as affordable for more retail to buy into? I think so. But even like I said, you guys, like, institution has been increasing their purchasing on GameStop. Will be Okay, 40. Yeah. I mean, see, there's a lot of different opinion out there. I think, again, this might be the catalyst. Who knows? I hate to say it, that, oh, this is going to be it. But listen, um, yeah, look at this. So even at this level here, like these two kind of like seemingly, right? This is like missing, right? So even it's red on both ends here, it's still, hold on, you guys. Like, is this 550? Like, really? It's that much? 7 cents down? Okay, even with this earnings right here, I'm thinking this is over inflated, the on the estimate size. They are making money here, right? It's just that it's missed earnings, missed the Wall Street expectation for the company that they claim that it doesn't make money, but then they overestimate it too. It's like, oh, they should make more than that. Like, okay. You see, it makes no sense. In my opinion, this earnings, even though it's red on both sides, it's still a good earning. The same way with this one. Now, okay, I'll just say that this is the bad earnings because we don't make any money here at this moment in time. But if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 quarters out of 8 are good earnings in terms of earnings per share. Okay. And so that adds a lot of confidence. That's why you see, more and more institutions are accumulating quietly. They don't want to cause out any, red flags like, oh, it's going to go up and up and up forever until the end of time. They just buy enough so that it doesn't cause any price action to alert other people because they want to buy more. Okay. And they will follow each other, telling you, the institution will come. Remember I said, if the institution exceed 51%, and we're pretty close, we're about 10% uh, uh, more than that. We need 10% more of institution ownership for that. That is going to cause, more and more institution to snowball into GameStop soon. But again, they have to prove it for sure, right? For the institution to even take a look at it. They will come. Don't worry about it. You're gonna hear on the news. You're gonna be, it's like all of a sudden they're gonna bring in people, just like how they are doing it now with crypto. Okay, they were poo-pooing it for quite some time, for 3 years. Larry Fink and all that stuff, right? Telling you for 3 years it's a rat poison. It's it's just it doesn't mean anything. It's a pet rock and all that stuff. JP Diamond. But behind closed door, what do? They buy it up like crazy. Okay. So why do they do that? Well, it's survival, right? It's the strategy, is that they don't want you to buy the most valuable things at that time because they want to accumulate as much as they can while pumping you, the most overvalued companies out there, And so you could look at it, right? And even the crypto worlds, right? You have a lot of meme coins out there that doesn't mean anything, that doesn't have any value. And again, that's why the term meme is associated with GameStop as a stock. And so again, there's a lot of psychological things that are in play here, you guys. So understand that, even with the manual here saying that it's never going to go over $30, when most people think that it's never going to do something, it's going to happen. So it's going to happen in the opposite direction of the majority of people. So right now, the majority of people, whoever bet on GameStop, right, including me, thinks that the price is going to go up. So if you are, I'm talking about like even option traders too, like people buying calls and all that stuff, expecting, for the price to just go up. It may not. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to stop you guys from doing that, but hey, you might get burned, okay? Because who set the price of the call option? Of course, it's market maker, right? So they know what risk to take. That's why the IV is pretty low when it spike, pretty low, and then they buy up those calls, and then they sell it real quick to you as it runs up, and immediately the value of your call is going to go down because price comes down, even on good earnings. Okay, so imagine how many people, when they hear GameStop buying Bitcoin, expecting it to go higher, right? Because every single other stock that buy Bitcoin, or even just announce buying 2 Bitcoin, their stock went up like 20%. So in a day, it's ridiculous things like that. But those news rally-based type of thing is not gonna last for long. So you have to be aware of that too. So directionally, of course, the safest way to play this particular game is to dollar cost averaging, and buy it consistently every time, whenever you have the ability to. And yeah, don't overextend yourself. If you borrow money to buy into this and all that stuff, make sure that you could maintain the monthly payment. So yeah, and then if the price is still at this level for the next 5 years, are you going to be okay? See what I mean? Yeah, you have to think of it like long term here. I'm not saying like even the earnings, right? If the earnings is great, doesn't mean that the price is gonna come according to whatever the number is. It might place in that unless they do something drastic with the with the money. So drastically doesn't mean that they're gonna use billions of dollars to buy Bitcoin. Of course, that will move the market for sure, up or down, or move the stock price. I mean, imagine if he said, if the earnings report comes out and they drop $4 billion to Bitcoin, the whole thing right now at this price point. Yeah, it's gonna shake up the market a little bit, introducing volatility from the upside to the downside as well. Is it possible? I think so. I mean, Ryan Cohen seems to know a lot about Bitcoin already. That's why he, plunged into it. And again, like, even if he spent another $1 billion to buy Bitcoin, that's also a good thing too. I mean, Ethereum would be the biggest shock, right? If you go to buy Ethereum, because it's not part of. I mean, it didn't mention that or anything, but he did mention something about stablecoin, which makes me think that he knows that the biggest chain that is in stablecoin right now is Ethereum at the moment, right? Of course, XRP is on its way too. So, remain to be seen. But if he wants to shock the market or shock everyone, if he were to add Ethereum and XRP at the same time, so $500 million of Ethereum, $500 million on XRP. So now you have 3 top cryptocurrency in your balance sheets. Now what? That's crazy, right? So you get protection from all of the, one is a store of value, which is Bitcoin. Ethereum is the internet value, the tokenization and all that stuff. Smart contract. Ethereum is cross-border payment. All 3 are great investment for sure, But again, that's just me speculating. Of course, Bitcoin is always going to be the top one. I don't think Ethereum could flip it in this particular bull run unless Wall Street is trying to tokenize everything in the first year. Okay. the next 4 years on Ethereum only. But Ethereum has its own scalability issue, while XRP is kind of like the next best competitor because of the speed and all that stuff. And apparently they have a integrated exchange already. You could change from one token to another cheaper and faster than Ethereum. Yeah, but anyway, so just crypto stuff. When FOMO started, it's over. Yeah, of course. Like FOMO, again, FOMO doesn't start until people see this type of number here. Right? They don't start to pay attention right now. Is the best time for them to pay attention, but they don't. You know, this is just the nature of the crowd. The crowd are like that, where, you know, things that are undervalued, they don't look at it. They only look at it when, you know, other people tell them. It's like, oh yeah, this is the best time to buy. Especially on television, for sure, or some financial news. I think more and more people now are kind of waking up to the financial news. Most of them are not really looking to give you any information. They're more like trying to mislead you into. To me, when things are boring, you're supposed to be buying. Like, that's always been my experience. I've pretty good experience with that, where, you know, when people are fearful, right, when it's over here, people were running, and what happened? You know, I add more and all that stuff, and of course, like right here, like people would be like, well, just wait and to buy it, might go down further. It's like, what's the difference between 22 and 20? It's like, it might never fall down to 20, right? So if you're looking for 20, under 20, guys, like, crazy. But again, that's the fake out, right? Perhaps they know that people will wait until 20, but when it move towards here, you know, 25, people are going to buy at 25, even though they are waiting, right? Because the momentum pushing them to do that. And then what happened? Like, oh, it's never going to come down. And again, that's the psychology of traders, right? They have an attention of a mouse, for sure. Now, I speak that with the most respect to the people that are, you know, very good at it. But for me, I'm just not good at it. So yeah, do your thing if you are good at it. You do you, for sure. Okay. For some reason, I think, you know, we're gonna beat both of this. I don't see why not. You know, I'm gonna call it. We're gonna beat both earnings. But even then, you know, I'm still I'm so jaded on the price movements. Like, they're gonna still smack the price down, even harder due to, you know, all the big panic over here. So Jimmy might, you know, come down a little bit just to frustrate so many people even more. And you know, if you don't know the value of your company, let's say the earnings is good, but they use money to buy into Bitcoin, and then people still don't love that, right, for whatever reason, because they buy into Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin is very controversial, for sure, right? And the asset class has been debated and debunked and all that stuff until people's heart content, and it will still continue on for the next 10 years. But my argument is that, hey, you know, you go where the young people are most likely to be accustomed to. Okay. So a lot of young people are now, you know, embedded, and they are, you know, they know what blockchain is, they know what the meme coins is, right? So they're indoctrinated already. So it's not far-fetched to think that Bitcoin is eventually going to be the store of value for, the next decade to come here. So the trend is there. So if you're still blind to that, I don't know what else to tell you guys about Bitcoin, you guys. Now, again, to me, it's still early. If you Google how many people are actually in the world here own Bitcoin, you're going to be shocked to see that it's still under 2%. Okay, unless, Google lie or whatever. It's not accurate, I don't know. But, I heard Moran said about how Bitcoin is owned by 90% this institution. I mean, okay, if 90% of them own Bitcoin and you still have 5% of it, for retail to have 5% of 2% in the world, entire world, you're still on the top 2%. Any amount of Bitcoin that you own in your own possession, you're going to be the top 2%. Now, hopefully you'll be living long enough, to appreciate that wealth and never sell, right? Whatever amount of Bitcoin that you have, you do just fine. But I think, again, in the next, I would say 20 years, you're going to see a different tune leaning towards Bitcoin. And I recently watched a documentary, not a documentary, like a segment on Simply Bitcoin. I guess there's a channel there. But they were talking about the trend. And I think this is going to be happening as well. That the real estate market is going to kind of absorb, Bitcoin's going to absorb a lot of the real estate market, because traditionally when you think about the real estate market right now, it's pretty high, right? Everybody agreed. Like, if you're not agreed to that, like, you're just living in the sand, or you're just so rich that you could buy like 5 houses today if you wanted to. But for people who have no houses yet, don't own any home, you see that not many people could buy it. Even the median income cannot buy a home right now. Well, again, depends, right? If you want to move to a rural area and you earned in California, for example, of course you could move to those type of things. But I'm talking about the people that are living in California with the median income and all that stuff. Or even the people that live in the state in which they are living in, but still couldn't buy a home. So again, that's why it's important to realize that. And the reason being is that rich people buy a home to store their wealth. Okay, that's why there's such a discrepancy in wealth inequality, and the house keep going up in price because it's based on the speculative asset of things. Yes, some people buy it because of the Airbnb as well, so that's also added to the price going higher, because again, people are just doing business with it. In turn, a single family home, people who are actually trying to own a home couldn't do it, and even if they do, they become older and older. So the average age for you to buy a home, or start to buy a home, not even like owning a home outright, is going higher and higher. So close to 40%, close to 40 years old right now. So let me go back to that, the whole real estate thing. So again, rich people, let's say you have like, $100 million. Every single people would be telling you, well, you got to put some money into real estate. Like, real estate is the best wealth preservation that you could have, right? Yes, commercial real estate or whatever, but for regular people too, right? So if you have a second home, you use that as an investment. You're not really living that second home. You might be renting it out and all that stuff, right? But the whole point is that eventually that home is going to turn into, higher and higher valuation over time, because, what else are you going to store your wealth in, right? Besides dollar. So now you have a competitor which is Bitcoin, for people who have extra homes, right? And more now, people realize, hey, home has maintenance, has HOAs, has, and even if you have tenants there, you're gonna have to deal with the tenants too, right? And so rich people don't necessarily want to kind of deal with that. So, and even if people been doing it for the last 10 years, they might get so tired of it, right? And so they're gonna try more and more go into Bitcoin now. And again, like maybe not the whole portfolio for themselves, but at least 10%, right? And the more they realize that, hey, Bitcoin is actually a better store of value over time, they're gonna liquidate everything and then go into Bitcoin, right? Because they trust it more and more. But yeah, by that time, before that time happens, whoever listened to this have the ability to get it now, whatever price it is today. But yeah, this is the opportunity. If Ryan Cohen wants to buy here, that would be awesome. Okay, again, we're still, close to what we think he was buying to, right? Around the range in which we might be buying into that. So maybe Ryan Cohen is waiting for this dip right now, right? Technical analysis or whatever. Hopefully he's also following that. He might be an awesome trader. Who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe he bought here and then sell over here and then buy over here. Yeah, I mean, it's also possible. Just to piss people off, right? It's like, oh, he sold Bitcoin, and then like next announcement is like, okay, we bought Bitcoin around here. Nah, I don't know. I'm just having fun, guys. Anyway, what else? Okay, so the institutional ownership, this is the hint that Larry Chain has already kind of hinted to us, like perhaps this is what we need to wait for, institutional increase of ownership for GameStop. Logging this for you, locking for the future reference. Okay, locking for the future reference. So what is he signaling? Wait for the institutional ownership to go higher. What does that mean? Whoever got in at this price, you are front running the institution on GameStop right now. Okay? It's up to you to realize that opportunity or not. That's on you. Okay? When are you able to front run some of the institution out there who doesn't even look at GameStop yet? Think about that, okay? I know there's a lot of funds out there that are owning GameStop, but there's a lot more that has not even established their position yet. So yeah, that's coming. There is a tsunami of people gonna stampeding into this, okay, for whatever reason, because they were asleep on it for a while. They're like, what? GameStop makes money? I thought they were bankrupt. Type thing, right? They do this all the time. Okay. So again, tailless time. Nothing changed. People behavior is not gonna change. Okay. Right now they're doom and gloom. They're like, oh my goodness, the price doesn't do anything. Bitcoin's going down. Yeah, if Bitcoin goes down, Jimmy's gonna go down too, right? They bet against it. And then what happened? It's just going to explode higher. The same way with here, people who thinks that it's over for Bitcoin, they're gonna start a short position. They think they're gonna make bucks on it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm making money, and then they're shorting. And then what happened? Market makers saw that most people are shorting. What happened? They just send the price up to liquidate the short. Okay, when they liquidated the short, what happened? They forced the shorts to buy at a higher price, creating a loss for themselves. Does that make sense? So yeah, people bet up and down instead of just buy and hold. That's what the volatility that you need to be aware. This is good. Correction is good for the investor who are here for a long term. You know, if you and Jimmy, right, you understand the long term mindset for these, executive. The board of directors are directing you. It's like, hey, look at this long term. For future reference, okay? This is not just like, oh, look, we're increasing ownership right now. No, this is for future reference. It means something, right? It's like, okay, there's a hint there. They're trying to get you to think of it as a long-term investment. And that's a good leadership, by the way. Like, it's not somebody who, wasting money for no apparent reason. They're patient enough to look for the best opportunity. Okay. And what you may think is the best opportunity for GameStop to get into, they might disagree with you there. Okay. And they might be wrong, but they're not in a rush to make any type of decision. How many people think that like $10 billion is not enough? Right now, I'm sure they probably have more than $10 billion right now. Just because of the interest. They probably have like $10.7 billion. Dare I say that? I don't know. It might be true. I mean, they're holding right now, they're Bitcoin holding right now, assuming that they have still. It's probably, net unrealized loss or on a gain right now, on an unrealized gain right now. So I doubt that they're gonna go under anytime soon or not even making any money. People are compounding. Compounded interest is the eighth wonder of the world. How is that a bad thing? When you have the money to make money on top of the money that you have, how is that a bad thing? But for some reason, they spin it to be the bad thing. It's perverted for sure. Like the incentive for companies to keep spending indiscriminatory for no apparent reason, just wasting money, like a drunken sailor, right? Some of these CEOs, they just think that they're okay. I have $10 trillion to spend today. And then the market is just gonna go like, oh, look, let's spend $10 trillion. Oh my gosh. They're gonna make $10,000 trillion. Like, really? That's how the market thinks, by the way. They always underestimate a whole bunch of things. But again, that's the market that we have right now. And of course, it's all manipulated to a max of insanity, right? No matter what, just lie and then, pretend and extend type thing. And so if you bet against that, then, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer until they, go bust or the government's going to bail them out, and then it's just going to send it even higher and worse for the next generation. It's already like bad, you guys. Like, people are not able to live comfortably. Okay, so with the inflation's running hot and Trump want the rate to go down, obviously that's going to spawn the asset inflation. So if you own something, obviously you're gonna do well. But for people who don't own any assets, house, whatever, it's gonna be tough for them for sure. Not to say, okay, let me qualify that. Not to say that immediate short term, you're not gonna see any correction. Of course, the correction is gonna happen. If Jerome Powell were to come out and say, you know what, instead of 2.5 basis point, let's do a whole 1%, right? And that could signal a panic. Like say, hey, we're too late to cut the rate, so let me just, so again, that could spook the market too to the downside for a short period of time. So don't be fooled to be like, oh my god, it's over, right? I mean, even if the S&P 500 comes down like 20%, don't freak out, just buy more. Like, if you have money, if you have a job, put money away and all that stuff, and the only people that might be affected by it is people who wants to retire today, right? So yeah, but again, like, even if you buy bonds and all that stuff, that's still, bond is meant to only be a temporary thing, right? In my 401k right now, I have some bonds, right? Mostly bonds, but I do have some exposure to the upside a little bit here still, just in case, the bubble goes a little bit higher. That's how I think. But the majority in my 401k right now, it's in bond. It's doing pretty well. Last I checked, it was still 9% year over year. But okay, who's calling? Yeah, so but what I'm planning is to stay in bond for quite a bit, and then when Jerome lower the rate to 0, obviously that bond's gonna appreciate in value, and I'm hoping to sell that. Right? So when I appreciate in value of the bond, I'm gonna go back into the market. So that's the idea. But hey, I'm already underperform already if I'm not in the S&P 500 for the last year or so. It's crazy. But yeah, the bubble still continue. I mean, we have national debt of 37 trillion. I'm sure we're gonna reach 38 soon in the next 2 months, maybe, right? So again, that's why Bitcoin is going to go higher. Any type of asset class, right? But I think Bitcoin's gonna appreciate more faster than any other asset because again, new, very good narrative of digital gold. I mean, you hear it everywhere. You're gonna continue to hear it for the next 10, 15, decades to come. And yeah, so just count yourself lucky, right? And GameStop knows that, and so that's why they bought Bitcoin. Okay, so Ryan Cohen, smart, have nothing to worry about. Okay. All right, guys. I think I feel like I'm pooped out. Yep, so September 9th, quite a bit of time still, more than a week. So waiting for that. Of course, the institutional ownership has increased from what Larry was posting. So 6%, that's pretty substantial, don't you think? So that means retail own half of the float, okay? So if you just do your own math, okay, accounting for insider, institution, insider, institution, okay? So let's do the math together. What is that? Okay, boom. What was that? So close to that. And then if you minus that from 100%, so that means you and I, brokerage, individual shareholders, own half of this, which is, what is the float right now? Of course, this is not fully diluted. Okay. So, oh, what the hell? Huh? What am I doing? That's not how you figure out. Okay. So move the decimal too, okay? Because it is percentage. um okay, yeah. Now I know. So it's 200 million share, 210 million shares of it are owned by individual like you and I. Okay, so if you do the math, so let's make that two, right? Let's try that. Okay, one more. Oh, I'm trying to make it so that it's like 200 million, like that. Okay, so that's the amount that you and I own. So let's say there are 100,000 people. Okay, 100,000 people. Each of them would only have to own 2,000 to own the whole entire float. You think that people would only have 2,000 shares on average? And that's assuming only 100,000. What if you have 1,000,000 people owning GME? You see what I mean? So again, that's why the theory of like, you know, there's more shares out there than being sold. So again, speculation. Who knows, right? Just the math. Maybe there's only 100,000 people. Who knows? Maybe there's only 10,000 people. So highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. It's all over the globe here. People owning GME, and you could do your own math. I think, at the very least, people already triple, quadruple their position already by this time from the last time. So, I have no fear that people are gonna, sell out and the squeeze not happening and all that stuff. Oh crap! And even with the convertible notes, right? Let's say they get to convert everything and then they dump everything at $30 a share. I'm sure there will be more people would scoop it up, under 30 for sure. Especially if this earnings is good, right? Even more money, even more, debt to equity right now, it's very low. And of course, again, people they're gonna freak out because they're gonna see something like this where, is it balance sheets? They're gonna see like, where is the debt right here? They're gonna see the debt category and then be exploded to $4 billion. Okay, close to $4 billion. Why 4? Because the convertible notes. So that could be a pointer that these people are gonna be like, oh look, Jimmy is heavily in debt, over leverage, and all that stuff. Again, like the same stupid narrative, right? any negativity to throw at it, they will do that. But you and I know, you and I, who have been here for a long time, you know that actually it's 0% interest rate, right? People. Tony De Niro, right? That guy tried to comment on my video. What's wrong with you? No, but also like I just hate that, people are just negative for no apparent reason. And again, like in a way to mislead people, to say that the debt is not or cash is not important and all that stuff. And I know, again, the way that they evaluate a company, I understand that has been taught to the economists out there that are, trying to convince you that, hey, the more companies spend, the better for the company in the long run. I had people think that, right? Without like thinking about like, hey, there's a certain time and place that you should be spending. Okay? Right now it's not the time to be spending. Yes, at some point leadership would have to spend, because there's more opportunity out there, right? Whether it's to creating more stores, creating more products and services, which they already do. They are actually doing it right now, even in this environment. Think about that. And so when they have that ability, small little ability, I know, people are going to be like, well, they don't make that much, 10 billion, sorry. $10 million worth of annual, is it annual? Operating income. Of course, that's the only thing. Look at this, okay? Revenue's down. Oh my gosh, the company's not going to make any money. Look at this. They're making money. Look at this. Okay, and then next quarter, you're going to see more. Okay, trailing 12. Next quarter, you're going to see more. And then it's going to snowball more and more. If they spend less to make more money with little store, with small little footprint, what's wrong with that? In this environment, in the environment in which people don't have money to spend. Right? And so if they were to spend money to do some other things, what if some other thing doesn't pan out? Right? Just yet, and then that's detrimental to the shareholder, current shareholder, because you're spending money way too soon. Okay? You could always spend money in the future, for sure. But once you spend that money, there's no turning back. Okay? So you better be sure that you're spending on the right thing. Right? So yeah, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world, but people, man, goodness. Like, don't make it too complicated, you guys. Okay? I mean, look at the snowball effect here. Like, when people are not like seeing this, like, what? Huh? $400 million cash flow positive, and people are still like, ah! Remember when I talked about like, oh, that's another thing, Tony Nero, if you're listening, I heard you talked about discounted cash flow. You know what discounted cash flow is accounted for? You have to be looking at like a certain metric, right, on the discounted cash flow. You know what metric they're looking at? I think there's two. One is interest payment or dividend that is paying out to the shareholder. Those are the two. Do we have any interest payment to pay out to anyone? No. We have interest payment that we receive. That's not a discount. Okay? Number two, we don't have any dividend to pay out to any shareholder. So that's not a discount either. You know what it is? It's a compounded cash flow. Yeah. Compounded cash flow. Look at this. Now, I know I'm just trying to make light of it, but that's how I looked at it, you guys. When he said discounted cash flow, I looked it up, and those are the two metric that they look into. So Jimmy doesn't have that. Jimmy does not have any interest to pay out, and it doesn't have any dividend paying out to the shareholder to extrapolate on the discounted cash flow model. So that doesn't work on GameStop at the moment. But if you're honest about it, you probably would realize that it's a compounded cash flow effect here. Yep. Anyway, so that's just what I thought. Anyway, got animated a little bit here. What else should I be talking about? But I know like people like scoff at the small little like 4%. Like, oh my god, it's only 4%. So you make 4% while the world is burning. That's bad. That's actually a good thing, you guys. But yeah, I mean, I know that 10 years from now, Jimmy's gonna be worth more than it is today. So let's let's slow it down a little bit. I know people will look at the P ratio and then they like, oh my gosh, it's so high. Well, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down even more, and then next year it's gonna come down even more. Every quarter we're gonna prove that we're gonna be more profitable and not going to burn any more cash. So even if they make $1 million per quarter, they're still ahead. Okay, 1 million. I know people are gonna be laughing. Remember when we make $6 million 1 quarter or 1 year? You know, for 1 year, $6 million. People were like, they were laughing at us. They were not like making it takes GameStop 1 year to make $6 million. Okay, little did they know it was like just 2 quarters ago. No, 3 quarters ago. So, next quarter you're gonna see something amazing. So from 6 million a year to now, we'll see what's the next step. It's probably like more like $400 million a year. Is that enough? And then they're gonna say, what are they gonna say? All of that is all interest payment. I'm like, it's money. Since when do we distinguish between interest income from from the actual operational income? Income is income, you guys. What the hell? It's like, why would you trying to make more money to gain financial freedom? Are you trying to increase your operational income until, whatever? Yeah, you could do that, but hey, if you have people giving you money to succeed on the interest payment, right? Look at that. They receive a windfall, you know, by share dilution. Sure, they diluted people who were willing to pay GameStop at the time at a certain price, right? 28. What's the average? Whatever. And they sold it to people who were willing to pay for at the time it was overvalued, but now they have the actual cash in the balance, on the balance sheets to do a lot of, bigger, better thing. For now, they're just parking it at the, just to get more as an interest payment. So that's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And even if like right now, if it goes to negative and all that stuff, this would account for it. Hold on. Sorry. So there are some quarters in which, the cash flow is negative. So, but the name of the game is to try to keep it positive. So even the EBITDA or whatever, they use EBITDA. We're doing well. The sign of GameStop actually making money, but this is actually the one that we want for. So we're positive EBIT, because EBITDA just just too much, depreciation and all that stuff. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So yeah, so it just accounted for too many things, right? Depreciation, amortization, whatever that is. It doesn't tell you the real earnings of the company. Well, this one, it's the raw data that you want to like. If this is positive, that means the company is doing well, type thing. Okay. So we were ill a little bit here, illness, negative. Okay. And then you have wellness over here. So you think about that, go ponder, I- people may be falling asleep by now. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, Bitcoin's going higher. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. I feel like I need to go take a nap, honestly. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy some of the songs that I have been making for the channel. Again, this is like me having fun, you guys. Like, some of the songs are funny, some of the songs are more motivated than anything. I like a few ones. So on my way out, I am going to play a few. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, you guys. I appreciate all of you for commenting and all that stuff. And yeah, appreciate you. Hold on, you guys. Let me play a few songs for you on the way out. Not that one, you guys. My theme song. Okay, which one should I play? I like. Which one? Oh, this one.
They bet against us, thought we'd fall, but Cohen's got the plan for all. From bricks to clicks, we're building strong. The underdog singing this victory song. In the shadows of Wall Street's towering might, Gamestop stood small, ready to sign. Big funds laugh, said it's all over now, but the underdog rose. What do they about? Who cares if they short the stock? Let them short, we'll turn the clock. With diamond hands, we hold on tight. GameStop's rising into the night. Into Ryan Cohen, bold and so grand, a leader with vision taking command. Confidence shine, no fear in his eyes, turning the tide under stormy skies. Who cares if they short the stock? Let them short, they'll break the law. With diamond hands, we hold our fight. GameStop's rising into the night. GameStop rising, market in a frenzy. Wall Street sweating, retail cars so trendy. Holding strong, we never act too quickly. Smart moves made, we never look too tricky. Distractions come, but we stay so steady. True value shines, it always stays ready. Listen close now, hear our story. GameStop leads to gaming glory. Consistency shows, though progress moves slow. Smart money knows where real value grows. Copycats come and copycats go. We spot the truth before the crowd knows. Don't let emotions wreck your flow. When price dips, we can't let go. When hype peaks, FOMO starts to show. GameStop's the only way to go. Manipulation plays, we know the game. Weekends break when food spreads pain. Hold the line, stay tough, remain. Real games come through ice cold veins. Power to players, that's our creed. Breaking old systems, planting new seed. Can't stop, won't stop, it's what we need. GameStop's change breaks every chain. Consistency shows, though progress moves slow. Smart money knows where real value rose. Copycats come and copycats go. We spot the truth before the crowd knows. Don't let emotions wreck your flow. When price dips, we can't let go. When hype peaks, FOMO starts to sow. GameStop's the only way to go. Don't let emotions wreck your flow. When price dips, we can't let go. When hype peaks, FOMO starts to show. GameStop's the only way to go. Can't stop, won't stop, let's GameStop. Power to the players, to the market time. In the land of memes where the diamond hands shine, GameStop rides high under neon light signs. Fiscal Q2 ends when July says goodbye. Numbers will drop soon and reach for the sky. September 9th after market goes dark. Earnings announcement ignites every spark. From mates in the jungle to whales in the sea, Jimmy brings the power to set spirits free. Paddle through storms where the rockets fly high. GameStop, you to touching stars in the sky. Cheshire grin, turning all stores into gold where wins. Vegan sales may dip low or they may soar tall, but the faithful stand strong through it all. Kitty roars loud, making tweets burn so bright. Anticipation grown with the hype tonight. September 9th, after market goes dark. Earnings announcement ignites every spark. From mates in the jungle to whales in the sea, JME brings the power to set spirits free. Paddle through storms where the rockets fly high. Gamestop due to touching the stars in the sky. Wall Street shakes while the shorts feel the fright. As the day comes closer, the moment shines bright. No more hedge games, this is our terrain. GameStop forever breaks every chain. September night after market goes dark. Earnings announcement ignites every spark. From apes in the jungle to whales in the sea, JME brings the power to set spirits free. Paddle through storms